In a distant shard of another reality, an underlord is making his dungeon look like a huge dog.
Greetings to all underlords and other shady beings out there. This is Kallestofeles, and in this video I will talk a little bit about the latest patch and the DLC, which was just released for War for the Overworld, called the Anniversary Update, and my pet dungeon accordingly. So strap yourselves in and take a cold beer by your side while you're at it, cause it's pretty darn hot in hell, and by the looks of it, no one will be leaving here anytime soon.
Your vault is emptier than your head.
Okay, so what is my pet dungeon? A very short version would be that it's a sandbox downloadable content for the base War for the Overworld game, but there's more to that than you might initially think. My pet dungeon gives you an 8-level sandbox style campaign with very relaxed playstyle in mind. There is no rush to get the minions, build specific rooms or defenses for when the enemy should attack. The goal for each level is to build a dungeon that you like, at the pace that you like, until you reach a specific score on the level, at which point you unlock the next level or continue playing the existing one until you're finished with it. Every level also has some sort of twist to it, and is vastly different from the last, offering new challenges, like taking away your ability to make gold whilst gold being really scarce on the level already, for an example. Also, on every level, there is a so-called toy box, which contains the human hero characters and the lever to change their level attributes. You can spawn a random wave of enemies, trigger a continuous invasion, where they will keep on respawning once the last batch has been finished off, or simply pick the heroes from the toy box and do as you will with them one by one.
Let's hope your vault is brimming, Underlord. It is payday.
After the 8 levels of sandbox campaign, you also unlock God mode, which is essentially a real-time level editor which will give you the true opportunity to create the dungeon of your dreams, complete with waterfalls and snowy terrain. Okay, so you might be wondering why I mentioned both the patch and the DLC in the beginning of the video. Well, the thing is that my pet dungeon is a new game mode, which is also included partly in the latest 1.6 anniversary update. Namely, Bright Rock Studios have decided to give you 2 of the first sandbox levels for free, because of the sandbox dungeon building is kind of a niche game mode and it will not be for everyone's taste. At least with that in mind, you can easily check it out to see what exactly is it and if it's something that you would enjoy if you were to purchase the DLC. Speaking of which, my pet dungeon downloadable content costs only €7.99. Now, if you don't have the core game yet, but you are interested in getting the latest and the greatest, then you could also go with the anniversary bundle, which includes the base game and all of the released downloadable content for the title, such as the Underlord Edition upgrade, Heart of Gold, and of course the My Pet Dungeon expansion pack. Now, that would set you back €48 or your regional equivalent. But if you really like the Dungeon Keeper series, then it's definitely worth your investment in my mind. Now, in addition to My Pet Dungeon new game mode, the 1.6 anniversary update also brings some nice new features and fixes to the table. Not to count them all to make this video into a long bug fix / feature add-on video, but to name a few outstanding ones. You will get more themes for your dungeon, for an example, 3 classic and newly refined Empire dungeon themes. Now, the water and waterfalls got an overhaul with the new textures, shaders and materials, and both waterfalls and water chasms can now be placed at your free will. Possession spell. It got a lot of improvements done. I could say that it's more like a complete rehaul of the whole thing. No longer will the view get stuck on the Linux version when rotating the camera on so many times that the cursor in the background would like to leave the screen, thus making you unable to turn the camera any further. Also, nearly every unit now has a specific vision filter applied to them in position mode, just like in the old Dungeon Keeper series where every position kind of looked different. This option can be switched off in the options if one finds it uncomfortable to look at, of course. There are also a lot of gameplay changes which, in a nutshell, slow the game down a bit, which is all a welcome sight to behold, as sometimes the game got pretty frantic and hard to keep tabs on what was happening exactly where. And yes, even in God games, things can get a bit messy. Now you would need to think more if you really need to make the move you were originally planning upon. There are also plentiful of rituals which got their costs increased, which is a welcome sight. Now, a lot of levels also have their speedrun achievement requirement a bit loosened, and it was pretty devilish to accomplish, especially on the later levels. And many more changes. If you want a complete list of the fixes and the features featured in the 1.6 update, I will leave the link in the description box below, so check it out. But to wrap things up, I think that the My Pet Dungeon and the anniversary update are a very welcome addition to the already great game. I still love how Bright Rock Studios keep working on the title and showing the way how a company should take care of their product and customers. If you are into God games, and especially if you enjoy the Dungeon Keeper series, then this is a no-brainer game for you to purchase. But should you buy the My Pet Dungeon expansion as well? Well, that's something everyone should go and figure out on their own, if the niche game mode is for them or not. Luckily, Bright Rock makes it easy for you and you can try out the first few levels without any restrictions or costs. Alas, should you require any more information about the core game itself, please check out the video in the annotation on your screen right now. I thank you very much for watching this short overview of My Pet Dungeon update and the game, and hopefully I will see you in the crypts. Bye bye.